shocker here. What you think? Don't care. Know that I'm there. Yeah, ranked as a top of there. My nigga, do you really wanna see me close? Fake ass rappers like CB4. No, we don't really wanna see key though. That's the little nigga wanna see me coast. Right pad, cause I kick ass. Come there fast, be there in a little bit. Nuts got big, transform quick. Now I'm finna spit, then I'm back to a little bitch. Fuck with me, you out your league. This rare breed, best of the best. East to the west, south to the rest. You can invest, just step to the left. That's your heat, there's no thunder. I don't give a damn what you did last summer. Stunners run up, get done up to sun up. Spinning little niggas like DJ Drama.
Relaxing in my sandals straight. I'm while the candles lit. No, you can't handle it. And no, I'm not impressed. I feel like I'm the best. And yes, I'm talking to you.
What's happening? What's happening with it? Ah, yeah, you already know it's going down. It's going down today. So when you come in the building, make sure that you jump in the comments. Let me know you in the building. And hit that like button. Smash the like button for me one time. Yeah, we definitely gonna cook today. So as you come in the building, like I said, smash that like button for me. And jump in the comments. Yeah, I'm definitely finna cook today. My man James in the building. Mike Rhyme in the building. Swat Jones, Jay West, Aisha in the building. Dwayne Mack. BYG. If anybody got a wrench, get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. I ain't dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this type of shit in 2023. If you coming in here telling me that everybody is in denial that Boots got outboxed, get him up out of here. Block his ass. Block it. For real, because you don't even need to be talking about boxing if you come in here telling me that Boots got outboxed. Go on, get him up out of here. I don't even want to see him in here no more. I'm not trying to have no dialogue with no ignorant clowns like that. Can't do it. But who else in the building? Let me see. The Queen Aisha in the building. Jay West. Mike C. Bodymore Murderland. What's happening with it? Jamal Young. Come on, man. Nah, BYG, you can't come up in here and just say anything, bro. Like, I get it. People got their opinions, but for you to say that Boots got outboxed, bro, you need to be put on timeout or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't even believe you watched the fight. Lori Reed, what's going on with you, Queen? I ain't seen you in here in a long time. Bodymore Murderland, what's happening with it? But yeah, we gonna talk about it. We got a lot to talk about. You know, Gervonta came out and did his thing, you know, and I kept telling people that Hector Garcia wasn't nobody tune-up. I always was telling people from the beginning when this fight was announced, I said, this is Gervonta Davis's tough opponent that he's had in his whole career. Straight up and down. And after the fight, I still say that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really high up on none of them other fighters that had been in the ring with Tank since he fought Pedraza. But I always gave him the utmost credit for Hector Garcia, and he wasn't no tune-up. And I told people that from the very beginning. But yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about a lot. So like I said, make sure that y'all hit my like button and as you come in the building. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. And like I said, if you're not gonna support the channel any other way, at least hit the like button. Elevated Conscience, what's happening with it? Bodymore Murderland said, opinion and foolishness. It's a difference saying Boots got beat is foolishness. Right, bro. Like, what is you talking about? How can you outbox somebody when you don't even engage? Like, man. Yeah, it's a lot of people going around saying a whole bunch of just ignorant stuff, right? But like I said, we're gonna address all of that. We're gonna talk about all of it. Cause like KQKC say, you know, I call balls and strikes. Aisha says, yep, and he is southpaw. Tank doesn't have too much southpaw experience. But Tank, once again, he showed he real. You know what I'm saying? And whatever you want, whatever you're gonna say about him, he real for sure. Lori, yeah, I miss you up in here too, Lori. Where you been at? I hope everything is blessed. I hope all is blessed with you, Lori. Johnny Q says, yeah, there you go, talking that boxing again. Rail Johnson, what's happening with it? YK Mel, what it do? Yeah. Yeah, a lot went down. You know what I'm saying? I seen Meek Mill. I guess Meek Mill and his people, they got to getting into it with Gary Russell and his camp. And the best thing that could have happened to Meek Mill and Meek Mill, just I don't know who he had with him, his security or whatever, his partners. But the best thing that could have happened was for them to get the fuck up out of there. Cause yeah, Meek Mill can't fight a lick. And you know, he couldn't have his pistol. He probably did, you know what I'm saying? He probably didn't have his pistol up in there, so it was gonna get real ugly for him. You know what I'm saying? And everybody know. Meek Mill wasn't active. I'm gonna show you how active Meek Mill is. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever tell me Meek Mill was active when he looked like this. When he looked like this fighting. Wasn't shit active about this dude. There ain't nothing active about that. When you fight like that, you need to sit your ass down, right, and shut the fuck up and watch. You don't need to be arguing with nobody about who gonna do what or none of that shit. You feel me? When you fight like that, you can't say nothing to nobody, especially the Russells. You need to sit the fuck down and just watch. You feel me? Wasn't nothing active about him. Let's keep it real. Lori said his stance just made me bust out laughing. You got to see it. That ain't even the worst. You got to see it on the mitts. And you know, hey, I mess with Meek Mill's music. You know what I'm saying? I mess with the rapper Meek Mill. That's where he need to keep it at. You got to see him on the mitts. He looked worse, more terrible than that on the mitts. B Megastar, what's happening with it? Bodymore Murderland says, nah, Meek was saying Tank gonna stop him. Gary was saying it's going 12, but the Russells would have crushed the whole Dream Chaser camp. Oh, easily. And all of them like that. Don't let their size get you twisted like they not about that action just because they all short in the motherfucker. Hey, they with that. Real talk. But like I said, Meek Mill, he needs to sit the hell down and watch. You don't need to be going back and forth with nobody in that arena. And I mean nobody in that arena. Fighting like he do. Bodymore Murderland says Meek would have definitely been Dream Chaser. All of the Russells got hands. Ain't nobody in the Russell camp that can't fight. And that's for real. You couldn't, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't grow up around the Russells and not know how to fight. Sean Clark says Gary getting into too many fights outside of the ring. What other fight? He ain't got in the fight outside of the ring. That wasn't no fight. And also on top of that, you ain't never seen Gary get into nothing outside of the ring. Never seen Gary get into nothing outside of the ring. Matter of fact, Gary Russell, his record is squeaky clean. That man is a stand-up citizen outside of the ring. But as far as him not being in the ring fighting, you know that man got an injury. What we not gonna do, we ain't gonna do no Gary Russell slandering over here. That I've rocked with the Russells. You know what I'm saying? Like, as men. Like, you know what I'm saying? As men. If you know the Russells, you gotta respect them as men. You know what I'm saying? Forget all that boxing stuff. Okay, Lori, I got you. Oh, that's dope. Lori in the mix. That's a dope picture, Lori, with all the Russells too. That's dope. Yeah, them dudes is, you know what I'm saying, they real stand-up men. That's, you know what I'm saying, besides me liking them in the ring, like, I like them as far as being stand-up men ahead of anything. Bro, you talking about he stole on Bud, bro. That you talking about some shit that was in the amateurs 15 years ago. Come on, Sean Clark, you better than that, dog. And that was at an amateur event. You talking about 15? Come on, man. That's what we doing, Sean Clark. We talking about some shit 15 years ago. And as far as him saying that he'll slap Chris Colbert, that's boxing related. That's boxing related, bro. That's two fighters talking shit to each other. You ain't never seen Gary Russell get in no trouble outside of the ring. So we not finna do that to that man. Oh, yeah, I got you. So as far as, you know, the Russell, you know, Gary Russell, you know, talking shit, that's what he do. You know, Gary Russell talks shit, but he backs it up. You dig what I'm saying? He back it up in the ring. With that being said, like I said, hit the like button. We gonna talk about Boo Boo Andrade. Nah, I fuck with the Russells. You know what I'm saying? You saying they got little man syndrome, but like I said, you can say what you want, but they ain't got in no trouble outside of the ring. You can't you can't put that jacket on them and then talk about things that happen that's boxing related. Some shit that happened with Terrence Crawford 15 years ago, bro. Like, okay, in a boxing event, an amateur event. Some shit that he said to Chris Colbert when fighters say shit like that back and forth to each other all the time. That's boxing related. So we're not just gonna act like that man getting outside the ring trouble and shit, because he don't. Nor does his family. You feel me? But you know, I get it. I get it. You don't like the Russells. You don't rock with them. You know, like I said, I rock with them as men before anything. But anyway, moving along. You said Swat Jones says, man, this man Meek Mill said you want to fight. I bet he did. You know what I'm saying? Standing 100 yards away with a whole bunch of big ass security around him. Trying to hear that shit. I'm not trying to hear that. But as far as, you know, the Gary Russell thing with Gervonta Davis, I mean, they been had that, you know what I'm saying, back and forth. Gary, he trying to do what he can to get a fight with Tank. He really believed, and he been believing that he can beat Gervonta Tank Davis. Whether he can or not, that ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about that shit. My whole thing is like, hey, fight. That's a big fight. It's a huge fight for the DMV area. This is what it is. D. Wilson said Blueface will give Meek Mill the business. Blueface, he could fight a little bit. Like real talk, he can fight a little bit. Meek Mill can't fight a lick. You know what I'm saying? He don't have no coordination. He can't fight a lick. Like he probably never even been in a fight before. Real talk, he probably never even been in a fight before. He probably, you know what I'm saying, always had to rely on his pistol. But like I said, smash the like button. We're gonna get to cooking. Before we get to the Saturday night, the fights on Saturday night, one thing, Renee Box Young, I see you. But so before we get to the fights on Saturday night, hit my like button. First off, smash the like button. It is free. It's free. You feel me? Smash the like button. It's free. Now, one thing I want to talk about, right, is, man, I'm messed up about this one. Stanionis and Virgil Ortiz, it ain't going to be happening, y'all. Or it definitely ain't going to be happening when, when we thought it was going to happen. You feel what I'm saying? That fight is permanently delayed now because Stanionis, he had to get his appendix taken out, I believe. Stanionis had to get his appendix taken out, so that fight won't be happening. You know what I'm saying? It won't be happening, and I hate that, man. I hated to hear that because that was a fight that I was really, really looking forward to. Like, you know, I had talked about it on here a couple times, and that was a fight I was really looking forward to, man. And when I seen that Stanionis had to get emergency surgery or whatever, and you know, we're not gonna have that fight, or that fight is gonna be postponed, like that shit messed me up. And now they saying it's postponed, but it's like you never know what's gonna happen in boxing, because it's like, is Virgil Ortiz gonna be wanting to wait around all of that time, right? Are they even gonna make Virgil Ortiz wait? If another opponent come up and Virgil Ortiz want to be active, they might grant that to him, and then have Stanionis fight the winner between Virgil Ortiz and the next opponent that he fights. Terrence Crawford and Virgil ain't gonna fight. It's not gonna happen. Like, y'all gotta understand what's happening with the Ultimate Fight Club. I know people people are huge Terrence Crawford fans. My opinion is different than other people's opinions, but I just go off of what a man showed me. And y'all gotta understand, if you look at Virgil Ortiz and Terrence Crawford, you probably gonna favor Terrence Crawford in that fight, right? But that's a tough ass opponent. And so we seen how Terrence Crawford moves when it comes to fighting real live competition. They had to make him get in the ring with Sean Porter, and that was Sean Porter at the end of the road. You know what I'm talking about? That was Sean Porter at the end of the road. Virgil Ortiz is much, much, much more dangerous than Sean Porter has ever been in his whole career. You heard what Green Machine told Virgil Ortiz after he fought Virgil Ortiz. He said, you hit way harder than Bud. You hit way harder than Terrence Crawford. He said that shit. And you see Virgil beat him up worse than Crawford did. He beat him up worse than Crawford did. Now, the only thing with Virgil is his chin is suspect. Well, a lot of people say that Crawford's chin is suspect. So, to me, if you ask me, if Virgil Ortiz and Terrence Crawford fight, to me, it's whoever gonna catch who first. Because y'all can think it's a game if you want to. If motherfucking Virgil Ortiz catch Terrence Crawford clean, he might put him to sleep. Because Virgil Ortiz can crack. And offensively, Virgil Ortiz can fight his ass off offensively. Dank Father, you always saying some off the wall shit, bro. Like, you always saying some off the wall shit. You came in here talking about Virgil Ortiz is a hype job. But one thing about Dank Father, is I can always rely on him saying some just off the wall ass shit all the time. How is Virgil Ortiz a hype job? Look at who Virgil Ortiz already done fought. If Virgil Ortiz is a hype job, then Terrence Crawford's a hype job. And I'm not saying either one of them is a hype job. But if Virgil Ortiz is a hype job, then Bud is a hype job. Like, what is you talking about, bro? Like, how is he a hype job? Like, yeah, whatever. All right, whatever. Yeah, you said it, and I said what you said sounds stupid as fuck. You said that, and I think what you said sounds dumb as fuck. I mean, so, yeah. A hype job? Like, man, okay. John Kramer, what's happening with it? D. Wilson say, shoot Carrington a beast. Oh, yeah, he definitely a beast. But you know what I'm saying? I'm disappointed that we not finna see Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis, at least not anytime soon. Charles Granger, what's happening with it? Oh, you said I think. You said okay. I see you. I missed your cut. You said you think that he's a hype job. Well, you gotta have some valid reasoning behind thinking that he's a hype job. I mean, we can't act like we haven't seen Virgil Ortiz in there with the same level of competition that Crawford has fought his whole career. Virgil Ortiz has fought better competition than Jaron Ennis. Virgil Ortiz is proven to not be a hype job. Now, can Virgil Ortiz beat Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford? I definitely wouldn't pick him to beat Errol. I'm definitely, and him and Terrence Crawford, I don't know if I'll pick him to beat. I probably wouldn't even pick him to beat Bud. But at the end of the day, right, he's still a tough fight for all of them. Ain't none of them dudes just going to walk through Virgil Ortiz. In order to walk through him, you just got to catch him early with something that he don't see. Other than that, Virgil Ortiz, that motherfucker, he can fight his ass off. Ryan Clark, what's happening with it? So let's talk about the fights. Y'all smash the like button if you're just coming in the building. Smash on the like button. And let's talk about the fights on Saturday night. We're going to start with Boo Boo Andrade. Let's start with Doodoo. So if you fast forward, right? If you fast forward back to the late great Batman, me and my brother Batman, right? We used to always go back and forth because he was always saying that Boo Boo Andrade can beat Canelo Alvarez. And I was always saying that Boo Boo Andrade can't beat Canelo Alvarez. He can't beat Canelo Alvarez, right? And I'm not a Canelo Alvarez fan, so we not even finna go there, right? I'm not a fan of Canelo Alvarez. I once was, but I don't like how Canelo moved, and I don't like how he continues to move. But right, me and my brother Batman, we always used to go back and forth because his thing was, Boo Boo Andrade, he could beat Canelo. Canelo scared of him and all of that. And I used to tell him, like, nah, Andrade ain't what he was at 154. He not the same fighter that he was at 154. He can't fuck with Canelo. He can't fuck with the top. I'm telling y'all, and I'm saying it now. What we seen in that fight is Boo Boo Andrade look like he always does. He is a front runner. He comes out, guns blazing, and he looks great. He looked great. The first 4 or 5 rounds, he looks great. And then after that, Doodoo slows down. That's just who he is. I've been saying that. He slows down. And the thing is, right, I don't know if Nicholson would have been able to beat Doodoo Andrade. I'm not saying that. But Nicholson was hurt. He could not throw a right. His shoulder, he blew his shoulder out early in that fight. And he came into that. Matter of fact, he came into that fight with a shoulder injury. And if you watch the fight, every time Nicholson tried to throw a right hand, he was letting Doodoo know he was hurt. because he was saying ouch. He was like, oh shit, ouch. And you can never do that. He didn't have a good poker face. So with that being said, Doodoo Andrade knew he was hurt and he still didn't take advantage of it. Nicholson was in there fighting with one arm. And he was ready to go. All he was doing was surviving. All he had was his jab. And he don't have a good jab to start with. He don't have like no excellent jab like that. So he was right there ready to go. And Doodoo couldn't get him up out of there. Every time DeMond Nicholson went back to his corner, he was basically wincing in pain. He was telling his corner how bad his shoulder was hurting and that he couldn't throw. And his corner was telling him, I don't want to hear that shit. Don't make no excuses. Leave that shit all out in the ring. So they wouldn't even let him quit. I'm not saying that he wanted to quit, but they wasn't going to let him quit. And he was still showing that he was stronger than Doodoo. Of course, Doodoo Andrade got the skills, but man, he's not it. He's not it. If Andrade had been in the ring with it, probably Janabek would have even might have stopped his ass. If he had been in the ring with a Canelo or a David Benavidez, that shit would have been real ugly for Doodoo Andrade. Like I said, he's in the ring with DeMond Nicholson is not on that level. DeMond Nicholson is a C-level fighter. Right? He is C-level fighter. No disrespect to DeMond Nicholson because he's very tough. He showed how tough he was because he stood in the paint hard when he knew he was injured. Right? But he's a C-level fighter. And this shows you, right, that Doodoo, his whole career, he's been fighting C-level fighters, and he have a hard time with some of them. Some of them he run through. This is what he is. So to run around acting like that, he's the top of the echelon. He was, could ever beat, he probably could have beat Canelo at 154. Maybe 160 when he first went to 160. But other than that, like 168, later on in his career, he wasn't fucking with no Canelo. Or no, y'all was running around talking about he'll whoop David Benavidez. Man, David Benavidez will do something bad to him. He'll do something bad to Doodoo Andrade. Real talk. Do something real bad to him. You know what I'm saying? He'll push that man eyeball to where his edge up again. John Kramer said you got TCU tonight, 500. I might have to take you up on that bet, dog. John, bet it. Bet that. Let's bet that, John. Just do boxing. What's happening with it? Dundada say Plant will outbox Boo Boo. I got Plant beating him too. Because see, this is the thing, right? If Boo Boo, if he can't get you up out of there within the first 4 rounds, you good. His power don't carry. I've been saying, if y'all been watching me over the years, I've always said this. So it has nothing to do with the DeMond Nicholson fight. All that fight did is prove what I've been saying all along. Okay. You in here bluffing, John Kramer. John in here bluffing. But watch, you in here bluffing, but watch TCU fuck around and win it. And you going to be kicking yourself in the ass. Ultimate Fight Club says Andrade needs to fight Charlo ASAP. That's his best bet because Charlo inactive, right? Charlo, he's Jamal Charlo, that is, so y'all don't get him mixed up. He don't really seem like that, his head in the game like that. You know what I'm saying? And his best bet is to get Charlo right now. But I don't even know if he could beat a Charlo because if Charlo come in and he's strong. He in tip-top condition. Charlo too strong for him, dog. And like I said, man, you just look at that fight with Damon Nicholson and look at how Demetri Andrade was performing against a guy that only had one arm. You supposed to get Nicholson up out of there, dog. That man got one arm. He's showing you that he hurt. You feel what I'm saying? He's showing you that he hurt. Every time he try to throw a right, he's telling you, oh shit. He said ouch in the middle of the ring every time he throw a right. And you ain't jump on this man and say, okay, you know what? He can't do nothing to hurt me. I'm going to get him up out of here. I'm going to go ahead and get him up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And show out, bro. People was looking for him to come out there and show out. He ain't been with PBC in probably 6-7 years. You know what I'm saying? Way back since the shit happened with Jermell Charlo. He ain't been with PBC since way back then. What was that, like at least 7 years? And you come out there and you just did enough, right? You did enough to get a unanimous victory, but you didn't do nothing spectacular. You looked good early on in the fight, but you did what you always do. You just faded down the stretch. And so for everybody that's always talking this doo-doo shit, this Demetrius Andrade shit, and like I said, he cool. Everybody that's always talking about him like he a boogeyman and he'll whoop Canelo and he'll whoop David Benavidez and he walks through Charlo. Y'all got to cut that shit out. Real talk. And I don't want to hear the excuse that he was out of the ring for a while. He's supposed to smash Damon Nicholson. If Damon Nicholson's healthy, he's supposed to smash him. Let alone a Damon Nicholson that go into the fight injured and only got one arm. Leon Robinson said he showed that against Selecki too. Floored him immediately. Then the fight dragged 12. He do it all the time. He come out blazing on you, and then next thing you know, 12 rounds. Because he don't carry his power. His power don't ever carry. It just is what it is. Yeah, Dundada. Dundada don't say too much shit I ever agree with, but this is one thing I agree with. Imagine David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez going 10 full rounds with Damon Nicholson and not a healthy Damon Nicholson, one that was hurt. So, if Dudu Andrade, if Boo Boo get in there with David Morrell, it's a wrap. He's getting stopped. You feel me? He getting stopped. And like I said, I think that it's unfortunate that Dudu Andrade, he wasted the best years of his career inactive and fighting Rudy Poots. Like he wasted the best, and a lot of that shit wasn't his fault, but some of it was his fault for doing bad business. You know, we talking like, what if Andrade, right? What if Andrade had went through with the Jermell Charlo fight? At that point in time, if you ask me, he would have beat Jermell Charlo back then. At 154, Andrade was a monster at 154. A complete different fighter than he is now. What if he had went through with that fight with Jermell Charlo, right? At 154, beat Jermell Charlo. Now, what would his career be like? You might have the opposite careers. You know what I'm saying? Jermell Charlo might have not ever became what he became. You just never know. But you let somebody talk you into, you know what I'm saying, dipping out of the fight, and you fuck the business off. And then you go to HBO and you go over there where nobody's at in your division, right? And you fight Rudy Poots the whole time over there. So it's kind of like, man, that's on you, dog. Like, he messed a lot of that shit up himself. But, you know, you also did have, you did have Canelo and them refusing to fight him. at 154, at 160, but I don't really think that he could have beat Canelo at 160 at all, or maybe early when they first moved to the division, but after that, nah. And he damn sure ain't beating Canelo at 168. So, if I'm Canelo, right? If I'm Canelo, instead of fighting a fucking John Ryder, right? See, this is the thing with Canelo. Canelo be on bullshit. And it's not always because his opponent that he can't beat. Because if I'm Canelo Alvarez, a lot of people have been saying that you've been ducking Demetrius Andrade for years. Upon years, right? If I'm Canelo, I say, fuck a John Ryder. You know what? Y'all saying I'm scared of this dude? Go ahead. I'm gonna fight Andrade. Pay me because they gonna pay him a whole lot of money. They probably gonna pay him a whole lot of money to do it. Go back over there on Showtime. You know, they love him some Canelo Alvarez on Showtime. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Give me that bag. I'll go over there. I'll fight Demetrius Andrade. I'll knock him off, and then I'll go back over here to DAZN. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Because he can't beat Canelo. He can't beat David Benavidez. He probably, if Charlo is, you know what I'm saying, at his best, he can't beat a Charlo right now. Like I said, I would have gave him the Charlo fight a couple years ago, but not now. We see why. We probably see why he backed out of a Janabek fight. So he's just not that. Like, to me, Demetrius Andrade is probably, you know what I'm saying, probably a cool B-level fighter at this point in time in his career. And it's not, and like I said, once again, I'm not basing it off of the fight that we just saw Saturday night. I'm basing it on what I've been seeing from him. See, a lot of y'all had your eyes closed and just listening to the hype. Like, I've been seeing this shit from Doodoo for a long time. Doodoo, he went over shit years ago. And my bad, salute. I appreciate Tony in that Cash App and my man Ryan Clark in that Cash App, man. I appreciate you. But Doodoo years ago, right? He let me pull up the opponent name. It's a fight that he had. I think it was a foreign fighter. And he struggled with that dude. Right? When he fought John Ryder, he struggled with John Ryder late down the stretch. You're not supposed to be struggling with guys like that. I'm going to tell y'all the dude name that he struggled with. Jack Cool Clay. When he fought that dude, Jack Cool Clay, he won by split decision. And this was way back in 2017. Y'all got to look at this man's resume, and we've been giving him credit for a whole bunch of shit, but he ain't been doing a whole bunch of shit. Look, since he beat Willie Nelson, right? And he stopped Willie Nelson in the 12th round of 2016. He's fought Jack Cool Clay. He barely won that fight by split decision. Dude, Jack Cool Clay, he gave Demetrius Andrade a very tough time, right? Then he fought Alantez Fox. Then he fought Walter Kunkandawa, whoever that is. Then he fought Artur Akova, whoever the fuck that is. Then he fought Selecki. He ain't shit. Then he fought Luke Keeler. He ain't shit. Then he fought Liam Williams, right? He won that fight, but Liam Williams gave him a fucking tough-ass fight, right? Had Doodoo moving all around the ring and just, you know, at the end trying to basically holding on for dear life at the end of that fight. Then he fought Jason Quigley. He ain't shit. And then comes Damon Nicholson Saturday night. And this is the guy that everybody's saying that, oh, man, he'll whoop David Benavidez and he whoops Canelo and he run through Charlo. Come on, man. Miss me with that shit. Doodoo, he is what he's shown. But the good thing about it, right, that maybe fighters like Jamal Charlo will realize what I've been saying for the longest time about Dudu Andrade, that he ain't that. And maybe they'll get in the ring and fight him. Maybe they'll get in the ring and fight him. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, because they still thinking that he was the same fighter that he was at 154 when he not that guy no more. But y'all hit my like button because we're going to move along. We're going to move along. Y'all smash my like button. Smash on the like button. Like I said, it's free to hit the like button. If you can't support the channel in the Cash App or Super Chat, smash the like button. Smooth Groove, straight from that Oak Cliff. He say, Dudu ain't beating Charlo. Charlo stops Dudu. And he might. Like I said, he might stop him. But like I said, if Charlo is at 100% and got his head in the game, I got Charlo over him for sure. Now, let's talk about the Speedy Rashidi Ellis fight, y'all. Like I said, smash the like button for me. Smash the like button. Let's talk about this Speedy Rashidi Ellis fight. Fight that pissed me the hell off. It pissed me off because I'm not finna even wait to the end. Speedy Rashidi Ellis got robbed. Yeah, they robbed that man. I'm watching that fight, right, every single round, and I'm seeing Rashidi Ellis school Vila every single round for nine rounds, right? He's schooling this cat for like 9 rounds. At least 8 straight rounds. At least 8 straight rounds. Dude didn't win 1 round. Didn't even come close to winning 1 round, right? For at least 8 straight rounds. And then, about the 9th and the 10th round, Vila started coming on strong. He started coming on strong because Rashidi Ellis, his movement slowed down, and he just slowed down. You know what I'm saying? He slowed down, but by the time he slowed down, the fight was already won. All he had to do was survive. And he went into survival mode. Nick J, what's going on with it, Queen? He went into survival mode, right? But that's all he really needed to do. Of course, you want to see him close out the fight strong, but he didn't have it in him. And his footwork, right? He slowed down. He didn't have his legs under him like that. He couldn't move like that. And Vila started cutting off the ring on him. And when Vila was able to cut off the ring on Speedy, and Speedy could use his angles to spin out of the corner and all of that, Vila started catching Speedy Rashidi Ellis, hitting him with big shots. Speedy Ellis was getting hit a lot. Yeah, he was getting hit a lot, right? But he was still returning fire. He was still returning fire, and he was doing everything he could to fight back and survive. Now, and he's surviving. You know what I'm saying? You can see that he's tired. You can see that he's on the verge of getting knocked out in the 11th round, maybe the 10th round. Also, I think the 10th round, he came back in one of those rounds, right? It was the 11th or the 10th round. Speedy Rashidi Ellis, he came back and won that round. That's why I know he won 9 rounds out of the fight. He came back and he won the round. He showed some shit. But then in the 12th round, they told Vila, they said, look, you're losing the fight. You got to go out here and knock this dude out. You got to get a knockout. You lost the fight. Like, the fight is, you can't win the fight unless you get a knockout. So he goes out there knowing, Speedy Rashidi Ellis knows, because his corner told him, this guy's coming out here to knock you out. Right? You won the fight already. All you got to do is just make sure that you don't get caught, because he's coming to knock you out. What does Rashidi Ellis do? He go out there and he try to trade with dude. He try to trade with Vila. Vila drops him. Bam. Legit knockdown. Speedy Rashidi Ellis tries to argue the knockdown like it ain't a knockdown, but bro, I don't know what you arguing about. He hops up and he goes into survival mode. Vila is on his ass. He on his ass, right? Speedy trying to move around. He trying to hold. He trying to do all of that, right? Vila knocks him down again. But see, this is the thing, right? they didn't score the knockdown. The second knockdown in that round, they actually didn't score that a knockdown. They didn't score the knockdown, right? Rashidi Ellis gets up and he gets dropped again and he gets up and then he survives. So it was only 2 knockdowns in that last round. Now, Vila already lost 9 rounds easily. Wasn't even no debating the 9 rounds that he lost. After the fight is over, Vila's corner, they got their head down. Vila, he got his head down. He's shaking his head. In his corner is telling him, you almost did it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You almost did it. You know, he knew he had lost. His corner knew he had lost. Matter of fact, one of his corner men did an interview, right, this weekend and said that they thought that they lost the fight. They don't know how the judges scored it and gave it to them. They admitted and said that they thought they lost the fight, right? So they say we got a majority decision. So I hear a draw, and I'm like, okay. Rashidi Ellis, he got this in the bag. Like, but when I hear the draw, I'm like, damn, what the fuck? What judge, you know what I'm saying, gave the card a draw? Like, well, because like I said, y'all got to remember, a lot of people thought that there were 3 knockdowns in the last round. It should have been 3 knockdowns, but it was only 2 because the referee called one of them a slip. So I'm like, how the fuck, what judge, you know what I'm saying, got this fight a draw? I'm like, okay, well, whatever, you know what I'm saying? At least the other 2 judges scored it for Rashidi, and Rashidi you know what I'm saying, he gonna take this as a learning experience, but he's still gonna get the W. And then when they announced Vila, I'm like, hold on. Something wrong with my motherfucking TV. I know I ain't just hear this shit, right? I know they didn't just say this man won this fight. And that was a robbery. Like, a lot of people say, oh, well, I wouldn't call it a robbery. No, that was a robbery. You cannot lose 9 rounds in a 12-round fight and get, you know what I'm saying, you lost 9 rounds. Okay? You got 2 knockdowns. The 2 knockdowns counts for 3 rounds because that's a 10-7 round with the 2 knockdowns, right? So we give him 3 rounds, right? It's only, what, 2 more rounds in the fight. How can you win the fight? But yeah, like I said, it was a robbery. But Rashidi Ellis, he put that's on him. That's on Rashidi Ellis because you went out there and you knew what type of opponent that you was fighting, right? And you didn't come in tip-top condition. You should have been in good enough shape and tip-top. And yeah, of course, it probably has something to do with the long layoffs that he's had. He only had 1 round in like the last 3 years before that. But he said himself, he said, oh, I don't have no rust. The layoff ain't going to affect me because I stay in the gym all the time. He said, I ain't never left the gym. So the layoff is not going to affect me. So with that being said, he should have been in good enough shape to where he could go all 12 rounds. You know it wasn't a 10-round fight, right? Because if it was a 10-round fight, well, then you coast through the fight easy. You knew it wasn't a 10-round fight. You knew it was a 12-round fight. So you should have been in shape. And you know you fighting a pressure fighter that's going to come forward the whole fight. And me, I learned a lot of things about Rashidi Ellis. First of all, we all know that Rashidi Ellis can box his ass off. He can box his ass off, but he ain't got no pop. He don't have no pop. All that, all of that speed shit, that's cool, but you got to have some pop behind that shit. And Vila was just walking through that shit. That's why Vila was able to come forward and come forward and come forward and come forward because you didn't have nothing behind your punches to stop him in his tracks for him to say, okay, let me go ahead and slow down a little bit and I got to pick my shots a little better. He was just walking straight towards you, walking straight through your shit. And he don't have no pop. He just don't. And that shit is when you move up and you fighting guys, you know what I'm saying, the upper echelon of fighters, these A-level fighters, these B-plus level fighters that can crack, that got a full arsenal, that not only can crack, they in shape. That shit is going, you're not going to be able to climb to the top of the ladder, bro. For real, you got to be able to sit down on your shots and have some crack behind your shit to make a nigga think twice when he walking you down like that. So, yeah, he got robbed, but I learned he got to work on his strength, right? He got to work on his having crack behind his shit, and he got to work on his stamina. And you can't just, you know what I'm saying, wear down like that. Let me see what y'all talking about in here. Boxiana, what's going on with it, Queen? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Fuck a spit bucket burning. He over there, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you know you're doing something right. You know you're doing something right because you had that man motherfucking bothered. Hey. With his disrespectful ass. Rick Tibbs. Rashidi needed that Karen kind of endurance. Right. But see, the only difference, and we're going to get into the Speedy Rashidi, we're going to get into the Karen and Boots fight in a minute. But the difference between that, right, the dude Karen, that Jaron Boots Ennis fought, the reason why he didn't tire is because he didn't engage, right? It's a difference when you using footwork and spinning and running and doing all of that shit, right, for 12 straight rounds, but you not asserting yourself and throwing punches with it. See, Speedy was, yeah, he was moving a lot, but he was throwing a lot of punches with it. So that's what wore him out. I mean, if Speedy had went in there and just did what Karen did, he would have went 15 rounds. He probably would have been in 15 round shape to do that shit. But it's different when you throwing punches with it. And really, you know what I'm saying, in a fight. Leon Robinson said his corner was telling him to fight instead of clinching. And if his corner told him to do that, they told him the wrong motherfucking info. Because what he should have been doing is he should have been, you know, getting this little fast shit off, and then he should have been tying Vila up and making him reset every time so he couldn't get off. So if they was telling him to go out there and don't clinch and just fight, they told him the wrong instructions. And he might need to look at getting rid of his motherfucking corner. Rick Tim says, and the biased professional commentators was ballistic when the ref didn't rule the second fall and knockdown. They were clearly one-sided. And we're going to talk about them because I got to talk about them in that Boots fight. I got to talk about them commentators in that Boots fight because that commentary was horrible. I'm sorry. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. My man, Ultimate Fight Club said, I had that issue draw. He had that fight won easily, but them scoring it for Vila, I was looking like, yeah, man. I said I didn't even have it. I mean, right at the furthest, right? If you just want to say, okay, we don't want Vila to lose, we don't want to get a win to Rashidi Ellis, okay, give him a draw. But to say that he won the fight, come on, bro. Ain't no way that you could have gave him that fight. Like I said, I didn't even have it a draw because the man lost 9 rounds in that fight. And it wasn't 9 rounds that was hard to score. Those were 9 easy, clear rounds. I can understand if it was competitive rounds. Oh, yeah. And people talking about, man, Vila and Boots. Man, Boots would kill that dude. A lot of people don't know that styles and different things make fights. And we're going to talk about, because I see a lot of people shitting on Jaron Ennis, but we're going to break that shit down like it should be broken down. Swad Jones said, moving fast like that with no pop, you got to have stamina. Yeah, he got to have 15. He got to be in 15 round shape, you know, because he ain't got no pop. Boxiana said it was a decline around 7. But I mean, he started declining, but he was still winning rounds. He was still winning rounds. Like I said, I scored 9 rounds for pretty easy. And then the rounds that he did lose, yeah, he lost them rounds clear. Like all of them rounds in that fight, whether they're for Vila or whether they're for Rashidi Ellis, they was easy rounds to score. I thought they was. I thought they was pretty much all easy rounds to score. But yeah, you gotta Rashidi Ellis, he gotta put that on himself. That's on him. You know what I'm saying? That's on him for one, him and his corner for not implementing the right game plan when they know that he was fading and he was getting tired, right? Also for him not coming in there in 12 round shape. You're not fighting 10 round fights. This wasn't a 10 round fight. I don't know why this wasn't a 10 round fight. Maybe Vila people, right? Maybe they the ones that wanted it to be a 12 round fight. And then Rashidi Ellis, right? Saying, fuck it. If they want a 12 round fight, we're going to fight 12 rounds because, like, it don't look like that man trained for, it don't look like he trained for 12 rounds. It looked like that he trained for 10 rounds. My man, William Old School, I appreciate you. Salute to you. Yeah, it looked like he only trained for 10 rounds. But yeah, now if they run it back, they probably not gonna give him no get back, right? Because they like, fuck, this dude in here moving like this with fast hands and he won 9 rounds. We ain't finna run that shit back. He gonna be prepared for us next time. Because I guarantee you, next time, if they did run it back, Rashidi Ellis will be prepared for what he's facing. Right? A lot of these fighters, a lot of times, they get on that shit to where they be like, oh, I don't watch tape. I don't watch tape on my opponent. I just adjust. A lot of these dudes, they want to be on that Floyd Mayweather shit, and they don't like to study film on their opponent. I lie Boots. That was Boots' problem, right? And it wasn't a problem. He won every fucking round, right? But I'm gonna get to that because I think that the reason why Boots didn't get a knockout is because he didn't watch no film on his opponent. He was on that Floyd Mayweather shit that I'm just going to adjust on the fly. But sometimes you have to watch film on your opponent. But, I hope that Speedy Rashidi Ellis take this as a learning experience. I know that, he was locked down over there on Golden Boy. He sat on the shelf for a long time, right? And I hope that they don't do that shit to Rashidi Ellis just because he took an L. I really don't. I hope that they don't sit him on the shelf and put him in the back of the line. I hope he could get a rematch against this dude. Probably not going to happen, but really, really, real talk. I hope that PBC don't do this man like that and sit him on the shelf just because he took an L. We know how boxing is. We know how these promoters do. We know how these networks do, especially if you're not, putting asses in the seats, if you're not selling tickets like that, right? And Rashidi Ellis just came to the PBC. I hope they don't fuck him over and sit him on the shelf. Get him right back in the ring. Let him stay active because if he stays active, he could use this as a learning experience. He really can. It sucks that you gotta, have some shit like that happen to learn from it. But hey, this is boxing. It happens sometimes. And dude got cracked. Vila can fucking crack. The man had I think he was 24-1 or he was 25-1 with 24 KOs. So the dude can crack. You did. Kawhi Elliott, what's happening with RCU? Jose Sanchez in the building. What it do? In my opinion, said judges gave Speedy the first 5. They should have gave him more than that. But, it is what it is, man. And I ain't gonna lie. I was mad in the motherfucker ready to tear shit up in the house because that shit fucked off my parlay. I'm going to just keep it 100 with y'all. That shit fucked off my parlay. I hit everything else on my parlay. I'm talking about I hit everything from if the fight was gonna go the distance or not, if the fight was gonna be everything I had on my ticket I hit, and that shit fucked it off. So yeah, I seen that done down. But yeah, y'all smash the like button. We're gonna talk about this boots. We're gonna talk about this boot situation. Y'all do me a favor and smash the like button for me. It's free. It don't cost nothing. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost nothing. So smash the like button. I highly appreciate it if y'all smash that like button for me. But let's talk about boots. Because I already knew it was coming, right? I knew it was coming. I told my lady, I said, they finna shit on Boots. I said, you about to hear Boots can't beat, Boots can't, you know what I'm saying? He don't need to be in the ring with a Terrence Crawford. He needs to stay far away from Errol Spence. Boots ain't this and Boots ain't that. I said, that's all you gonna hear. She even was saying that he got exposed. And I'm trying to explain to her, like, he didn't get exposed. Like, styles make fights. If Boots and Errol Spence fight, Errol Spence ain't gonna be motherfucking not throwing punches and running the whole fight, right? If Boots and Bud Crawford fight, Bud ain't gonna be running the whole fight without throwing no punches. If Boots and Virgil Ortiz fights, Virgil Ortiz ain't gonna be running around the ring the whole fight, not throwing no punches. So those are different stylistic fights. Those are things that Boots are not going to have to worry about if he get in the ring with one of them dudes. Now, am I saying that he could beat Errol Spence? That's not what I'm saying. I still pick him over Terrence Crawford. I just do. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But those are totally different fights. So fans, they get an expectation, and we all expected Boots to go in and knock this dude out. I expected it. I never had watched no film on that guy. I never had seen that dude Karen fight a fucking second in my life. Didn't know who the fuck he was. I just looked at him. I said, Boots gonna run through this dude. Who the fuck is he? I'm keeping it 100. I ain't look at no motherfucking tape on dude. But the problem is that, like I said, it's not a problem. He went 12 rounds. He won every round of the fight. And let me get to this super chat. My man KG, what's happening with him in the building? Big Ken's barbecue off in this bitch. He said, Ellis in his corner fumbled the bag on that. He said on that. Them knockdowns shouldn't hold much weight when he didn't get stopped and gave Smoke at least 9 rounds. Real talk. Real shit, KG. He won 9 rounds. And I appreciate you, man, for coming through and supporting the channel. Let's go back to Boots, okay? So, it's not a problem, like I said, because Jaron Ennis won 12 out of 12 rounds. So, ain't no he got exposed or, you know, all this shit. I hear people saying that he got outboxed and just dumbass retarded shit. He did get exposed. Now, did he come in there prepared to face the opponent that he faced? No, because like I said, a lot of these fighters, they get on this Floyd Mayweather shit and they say, I don't watch no tape on I don't watch no film. I just go in there and I adjust. And you can clearly tell that Jaron Boots Ennis didn't watch no film on that dude Karen. He watched as much film as I did. And knew as much about his opponent as I did. Not a motherfucking thing. He went in there and see, this is what happens when you get to smelling your own piss. And I fuck with Boots because I think Boots is everything they say he is. But this is what happens when you get to smelling your own piss. You don't prepare for that opponent that you're gonna get in the ring with. Because if Boots had to watch film on him, I guarantee he probably would have seen dude got great footwork, excellent footwork. He don't engage a lot. And that's the best part of his, you know what I'm saying, game is the footwork that he does. He move a lot. So then Boots could have brought fighters in training camp, right? that just focused on moving around the ring and pivoting it and having great footwork, right? And he could have focused on going to the body and cutting off the ring. But see, Boots wasn't prepared to deal with a fighter like Karen was. A fighter that went in there, he didn't have no intentions on winning against Boots. His whole intentions was to show that he could take Boots 12 rounds. We can make him go 12 rounds. We ain't trying to win. He wasn't trying to win. From the time the fight started, he wasn't throwing no punches. He was moving, pivoting, moving. And Jaron Boots Ennis, his mistake that he made, right? He didn't get exposed. He just came in with the wrong game plan, and he didn't make no adjustments. That was my whole thing. Still a great fighter. He just didn't make no adjustments. He was headhunting all night when he should have started going to the body. He should have slowed down and started focusing on cutting off the ring, right? So the only thing that we could say about Jaron Ennis is that maybe his ring IQ ain't as high as an Errol Spence's or a Terrence Crawford. He don't have that ring IQ, right? Because when you got the ring IQ, you're able to realize, okay, this opponent, this is what he's doing. Now I'm going to make the adjustment and I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this. Well, he didn't do that. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't really remember what Bozy was telling him, so I can't really say what Bozy was telling him in the corner. But that's the only thing, is Jaron Boots Ennis. Now you see that you're going to get fighters like that that's not going to engage with you. And one thing about Karen, I got to give it to him, is that the motherfucker has some of the best footwork that I've seen in a long time. Like, his footwork was amazing. And what y'all fans got to realize is that when you get in the ring with a fighter that don't have no intentions on winning and they got footwork like he did, it's going to be very, very hard to stop that fighter. If y'all go back to a fight that really, really pissed me off, and after I saw that fight, I said, I don't never want to see that little black motherfucker in the ring again. And that's Rigo. When Rigo fought Joel Casamayor, think that's his name. When Rigo fought that Asian, right? Rigondeaux did the same shit. And every once in a blue moon, Rigo would stop, throw a punch, and then get back and start running again. He couldn't do nothing with Rigo. It was very, very hard for the Asian dude to fuck with Rigo because Rigo was running and he really wasn't trying to win the fight. He was just in there trying to run and survive the whole fight. That's what he did. Go back and look at the fight. And like, he wasn't trying to win the fight. And so dude was frustrated. He couldn't cut off the ring on Rigo because it's easier, right? If you in there with, let's say, a Virgil Ortiz, and Virgil Ortiz decide to do what Karen did and just run the whole night, which we all know Virgil Ortiz wouldn't do no shit like that, but I'm just using an example. Well, it's going to be much easier for a Jaron Boots Ennis to cut off the ring on a Virgil Ortiz if he want to run all night because he ain't got footwork like that. You see what I'm saying? He don't have the lateral movement like that. He's not swift on his feet like that. But somebody that has great footwork like a Rigondeaux and this dude Karen that we saw, if they want to survive for 12 rounds, they going to survive for 12 rounds. And it's up to somebody like Boots to at least try to make the adjustments to slow him down, go to the body. But Boots was headhunting. He was getting frustrated, and I know he said he wasn't getting frustrated. His pops was like, shit. He said he ain't getting frustrated, but I was getting frustrated. He was getting frustrated. He was getting frustrated. And yeah, you're going to get frustrated because this is your first pay-per-view, right? You are co-main event, a sold-out fucking arena, and everybody is looking for you to put on a show. You promised that you was going to go out here and put on a spectacular performance. Yeah, you frustrated. And you could tell that he got frustrated because he never been in that position before. You feel me? He ain't never been in a position to where a motherfucker just go, somebody that has A+ level footwork decide that, oh, shit, I'm just gonna run the whole night. And yeah, that was running. Running is when what people used to accuse Mayweather of. Mayweather ain't never ran. You know what I'm saying? What people was accusing Mayweather wasn't running. That's why a lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing. When a fighter is just moving and moving and moving and moving and moving and moving and pivoting and moving, giving angles and moving, but you're not throwing no punches, or you only throwing a punch every once in a blue moon, that's running. He wasn't engaging. What Rashidi Ellis was doing, Rashidi Ellis wasn't running. You know what I'm saying? He was using his footwork to outbox his opponent, engaging, throwing punches. J.A. Dixon, what's happening with it? He says, ETB, I also think it was thrown off. I also think he was thrown off by bright pay-per-view lights. Plus, Karen wouldn't be an easy fight for anyone that style. Like, he's not going to be an easy fight for nobody if he decide that he don't want to fight. Like, I think that it'll take somebody like Errol Spence to stop Karen, right? Because Errol Spence, he's a master at cutting off the ring, right? That's one of the things that Errol Spence is a master at. He's a master at cutting off the ring. He's also a master at going to your body. So, yeah, if he went in there against an Errol Spence gonna stop that dude. But nobody never looked at Jaron Ennis and said that Jaron Ennis is a master at going to the body. Jaron Ennis is a master at cutting off the ring. We never looked at him as that. So those are things that he now knows that he has to work on. Because if he get in the ring with another fighter that do that shit, next time he's going to have that in his arsenal and he's going to know what to do. But like I said, you can't look at that fight and say, well, he got exposed. He better stay far away from Errol Spence, and he better stay far away from from Terrence Crawford, because he just got exposed. Nah. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, they're not gonna present that. Two different fights, totally different styles. So that's what people don't understand. People just see some shit and just run away with, oh man, he's exposed. He can't fuck with none of them top guys. Like, what? Them dudes ain't gonna fight like that. Errol Spence finna be in the paint banging with this man. Terrence Crawford finna be in the paint banging with this man. It's gonna present a totally different fight than what we seen. So when you compare, you can't even compare. So you can't take that and say, oh, well, we know that he's not ready. He got a whole bunch to work on. Nah, not when you talking about fighting one of them. Now, if Sugar Ray Leonard, if a 1985 Sugar Ray Leonard come and fight Jaron Ennis, then you gonna say, okay, you know, hey, he might need to wait before he fights Sugar Ray Leonard, because Sugar Ray Leonard, he gonna give you movement like that. He gonna give you angles. He gonna bang with you. He gonna do all of that. But Errol Spence don't fight like that. Terrence Crawford don't fight like that. And I'm not saying, like I said, this is not me saying that, oh, Jaron boots Ennis, he beats Errol Spence and he beat Terrence Crawford. I'm not saying that shit. I'm just saying those are two totally different fights, three totally different fights. So you can't gauge what we saw on Saturday night when you talk about an Errol Spence and a Terrence Crawford, because it's just don't add up. Boots versus Thurman, they said they down with that. So everybody that's shitting on Boots is crazy. Hey, why Nick J call that nigga Crockpot Rigo? Hey, that nigga, after Rigo did that shit, I said I don't never want to see him in the ring again. And I ain't never watched another fight with him in the ring again since he did that shit. Omega Red says, I'm really seeing who know. He said, I'm really seeing who know and who doesn't know shit about boxing. Karen didn't expose Boots. He exposed y'all dumb asses. Bro, I'm telling you, a lot of these dudes, they just casual. So you got the casual fans, right, that don't really know shit about boxing like that. You know, some of them admit it, and some of them try to act like they know shit about boxing, but they really don't. Then you got the other fans, right? They might not like a fighter just because they love another fighter. You can if you like Jaron Ennis, or if you're a Jaron Ennis fan, you could be a fan of Errol Spence also, and vice versa. Terrence Crawford, vice versa. So a lot of fans, they might be a fan of one fighter, and then they just wait to shit on the next fighter because they rivals. Bro, that's you know what I'm saying? When you talk of this boxing shit, you got to talk with a level fucking head. You got to talk and know what you looking at. But salute to my man Omega Red in the building. Jose Sanchez says, Mr. Plus 3,000. Yes, but Boots has to hook to the body to limit the running, cut off and get him in the corner of the ropes. Yeah, and that's like I said. I think a lot of that was he didn't look at no film on his opponent. And then also, like I said, he need to work on that. Yeah, he need to work on that. But the things that Karen that dude Karen presented, Bud and Errol Spence ain't gonna present that. They not gonna fight like that. You know what I'm saying? They coming there to get you up out of there. So it's a different fight. That's why they always say styles make fights. John Kramer said, what you think Bozy think about his son chances against Crawford and Spence after Saturday night? I think that he thinks the same thing that he thought before Saturday night. Like I said, those are two different style. Those are different style fighters. They're not going to present the same thing that Karen did. If Karen had a fault, like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford get in there and fight, he would have got knocked out. And we wouldn't even been having this conversation. But he decided that he wanted to run. And he wanted to put he wanted to display how good of footwork he got. But as far as Boots' IQ, yeah, he showed that his IQ is not up to par. And it could have been that maybe he do have a good IQ like that, but he was just so anxious to get a knockout. But that's why you got to use that as a learning experience. He ain't never been in the ring with nobody that did that shit before. So he wasn't prepared for it. That's all it was. He wasn't prepared for the opponent, but he still won 12 rounds. He didn't lose a round. It is what it is. Now, another thing that I saw in that fight, right, is we've seen this with Jaron Boots Ennis with all of his fights. He gets frustrated and he lets his opponent take off on him. Like he get hit with big shots. Now, he can't do that against somebody like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. And I don't think that he'll do that against Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford because you could tell that Boots get bored sometimes, right? He get bored with these fighters that he be in the ring with. So he just knowing that he gonna walk through them and they catch him with big shots. Are they hurting him? No, because they're not the type of opponent that could hurt him. But you could tell that you know he does that sometimes. So yeah, he needs to tighten up some things. But like I said, I don't think the things that he needs to tighten up, I don't think that they will come into play with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Now, if it comes down to a chess match to where you got to really dig down and use your ring IQ, that's where it's going to come into play. Because we know that Errol Spence, he can go to a game plan B or C. You know what I'm saying? We know that Terrence Crawford can go to a game plan B or C. That's where they got that advantage, right? Because they got higher ring IQ. He might be more athletic than them. He might be more offensively gifted than they are. but they got the experience advantage over him, right? And they got the IQ over him. They know what to do, when to do it. And you know, that only comes with experience. But I still want to see the fight. Oh, my bad, Sean Clark. Let me scroll back up. My bad. Let me scroll back up. Sean Clark says, in Boots' first fight past 6 rounds, he pitched a shutout. He got frustrated and could have went to the body more, but he didn't lose a round. But he didn't lose a round. Yeah, and that's a fact. So all of this, oh man, he got exposed. Like I said, when I came in here, I had when I started the live today, and he probably still in here, you know. He came in here talking about we need to just admit that Boot got outboxed by Karen. Bro, I'm telling you, boxing fans will say any motherfucking thing. Boxing fans will say anything. We need to admit that Boots got outboxed by Karen. I had to tell him to block him. How am I supposed to have a boxing conversation with you if you saying shit like that? Just saying. That's just like me going over to a motherfucking soccer channel and trying to talk soccer with a motherfucker. I don't know shit about soccer. So I'm probably going to sound ignorant if I'm trying to talk soccer with a motherfucker. Real talk. Where is Drico at? I don't see, I keep seeing people say Drico name in here, but I'm missing his comments. Let me see what the fuck Drico, and salute to Drico. Let me see what Drico in here saying, because I don't see Drico in here. Let me see. Well, am I missing something? Where is Drico at? Why the fuck I can't see Drico in here? Yeah, everybody else commenting on, because I keep seeing Drico, but I don't see him in the comments. Fuck. That's weird. Drico, comment. Because it sounds like he in here talking some bullshit, but I don't see Drico in the comments on my end. Fuck. That's weird. Let me go to my YouTube. Let me go to the, let me get on my phone. And y'all smash the like button. The like is free. Let me see if Drico, if I find him in here. The like is, and Drico should have a wrench. Speaks. Let me wrench up Speaks too. While I'm on here, let me add this wrench. I'm gonna give a couple wrenches out. If I give you a wrench, don't block nobody and don't time nobody out. Jose Sanchez ain't got no wrench. You mean to tell me Jose Sanchez ain't got no? Let me get Jose wrenched up. I got you wrenched up, Jose. Don't time nobody out and don't block nobody just for their opinion. Now, if they just say some off the wall shit like Boots got out, but get their ass up out of here. But outboxed or some shit like that. I don't see Drico. That shit crazy. I don't see Drico in here at all. Drico, comment, dog. They just said he just commented again. Man, Drico up under here under goddamn different name or something. And this is the second time, right? Because I think it was my last live stream I did. I seen people keep saying Drico, but I just thought that they were just saying Drico name, but he wasn't in the building. So no, coach didn't pass. Coach is still hanging on, and I want everybody to go to my community page when you get a chance. My community tab on my page, and the link to the GoFundMe for Coach is on my community tab. If you can, please donate. Anything will help. You know, Coach he's still trying to hang on. He's still in the coma. He's still, he hasn't woken up. It's been weeks and he's still in the coma, but he's still fighting. He's still trying to hold on and continue to pray for Coach. Please, we all got to come together and continue to pray for him. Yeah, I don't see Drico. It's crazy. It's crazy. Drico. Everybody see Drico. This shit crazy. Everybody see Drico in here, but I can't see him. Yeah, I can't see Drico in the chat at all. It's not, he ain't showing up in my chat. I'm gonna hit Drico. I'm gonna hit him up after this and see what the problem is, why I can't see him and everybody else can see him coming. Yeah, Nick J, he's still fighting, so we just gotta continue to pray. Yeah, I hit live chat. He's not in here. I'm telling y'all, I don't see Drico ain't in here at all. I mean, he in here, but he ain't in here on my end. OTB, what's happening with it? Somebody, Roxanne said he need to reset his YouTube account. Maybe because I don't see him. And like this ain't the first time I seen people saying Drico name in the chat, but I can't see him. So yeah, let's get off all of the Jaron Boots. Ennis got exposed. He not ready for Errol Spence. He not ready for Terrence Crawford and all. Let's get off of all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Jaron Boots Ennis is ready for whoever he say he's ready for. Win, lose, or draw. Let's get off of the bullshit, y'all. Right? If he win, he win. If he lose against him, he lose against him. It don't mean that he ain't ready. He ready for all of them. He needs to take this as a learning experience. And if he ever get in the ring with anybody else that decide that they just gonna run all night, fuck it. He know what to do next time. Go to the body more. Stop headhunting. Use your ring IQ, right? Cut off the ring. And yeah, other than that, you good. Jaron Boots Ennis, he good, man. And salute to Jaron Ennis. Now, let's go to Tank Davis. Y'all smash the like button. Let's talk about, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we got a plan for Tank. You know, Tank don't need to worry about fighting nobody. All Tank need to do is worry about Gervonta Tank Davis. Yeah, let's talk about Tank. We got a plan for Tank. Well, there ain't got no plan for Tank no more because Tank, he looking to show out. Tank is looking to do his damn thing. And salute to Tank, man. I told everybody from the beginning, when they announced this fight with Hector Luis Garcia, when people was running around talking about that Hector Garcia wasn't shit, this a tune-up, just because they wasn't really familiar with who he was, I told everybody, I said, this is going to be Gervonta Davis's toughest opponent that he ever been in the ring with. I told everybody. I said he better than Pedraza. He better than all them other fighters that he been in the ring with, right? He better than Leo Santa Cruz because Leo Santa Cruz posed no type of threat to Gervonta Davis at all. I kept telling people that this dude, Hector Garcia, can fight. And I said, I got Tank stopping him. And the reason I picked Tank to stop him, I said because Hector Luis Garcia, he likes to engage. Right? And when he starts engaging, he leave himself open to get hit with big shots. And I said that's gonna be his downfall when he get in the ring with Tank. Because you only can take so much. Your Tank got that motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? He got that goddamn midget power. You know midgets can crack. Tank got that midget power. And when he catch your ass, and he continue to catch you, you're going to eventually go to sleep. Hector Garcia is better than Mario Barrios. I've been telling people this, right? But everybody wants to just go off and act like that. Everybody wants to go off and just act like that. Hector Garcia was just going to be a walkthrough. Tank was going to get him up out of there in 3 rounds and all of that bullshit. Well, I actually picked Tank in round 7. I said I got it going 7. Well, he got him up out of there at 8. But let's talk about it. Because what I saw was Tank, he came out there and he does what he usually do, right? He started off slow. He was figuring Hector Garcia out. And the fight was a competitive fight. Even when Tank turned up the fight, right? Even when Tank turned up the fight, he didn't really turn up until like 5 rounds, right? But even when he turned up, Hector Garcia was right there with him, countering Tank, and he was making it a very competitive fight. But I knew that it was only a matter of time because Hector Garcia, he wanted to show his nuts. He liked to be he liked to counter, right? He liked to stay in the pocket, and he liked to wait for you to make a mistake, and then he likes to counter you. Well, Gervonta Davis, he's looking to do the same shit. And Tank, he turned up on Hector Garcia. Once he felt Hector Garcia's power, once he realized that Hector Garcia, you know, he do got power, but he ain't got enough power to hurt me like that, Tank turned up on him. And Tank started pressing forward. And Tank caught him. Tank caught him with a lot of big shots. Now, one thing I do got to I got to give Hector Garcia his props because he ate a lot of big shots from Gervonta Davis, and he continued to come forward. You know what I'm saying? He continued to come forward. And he was dishing out his own punishment to Tank. He was dishing it too. He wasn't only taking it, he was dishing it too. You know? So it wasn't an easy fight for Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis told you himself, hey, dude was game. Dude could fight. He was dangerous. You know? But Tank showed that his ring IQ is on another level. His power is on another level. And he did his thing. The queen is in the building. Let me stop the show real quick. And everybody, like I said, once again, like I said earlier, everybody, if you can, go to my community tab and support Coach and the Queen. Coach is still here. He's still hanging on, right? He's still fighting. Go to my community tab. Tap into the GoFundMe. The link is in my community tab to GoFundMe, and continue to pray. Continue to pray. She says, Tank is hard, bro. He walked him down, and he did. Lania, he walked him down. And like I said, when Tank turned up on him, Tank really turned up and walked Hector Garcia down and hit him on the temple, right? He hit him with big shots throughout the fight. That's the thing. People acting like Hector Garcia, he quit. He a bitch. He quit. Nah, that man didn't just quit. Tank had been hitting Hector Garcia with big shots throughout the night. But Hector Garcia showed that he had a chin. And when Tank did hit him with that shot on the temple and followed up with it, right? Hector Garcia, he was too tough to go down. What he should have did is when he first got hit, he should have went down on one knee. He should have took a knee. But some fighters are too tough for their own good, and he refused to go down. Now, the bell saved him, right? The bell saved him. But when he walked back, he asked his corner in Spanish, and I was going to do a video about this. He asked his corner, what happened? Did I get knocked out? So for y'all running around here, and I see a lot of y'all talking shit saying that man quit. He was just scared. He felt Tank Davis's power and he quit on the stool. That's a negative. That's a negative. See, the problem with boxing fans, right, is when we see somebody visibly hurt, don't know where the fuck they at, right, concussed, and they stop, and they tell their corner that they done, they can't see, they fucked up, right, to save their life. Then as fans, motherfuckers that ain't never been in a boxing ring before, we run around here talking about, oh man, he a bitch, and he quit it, he did this and that, right? But then on the other end, when a fighter is visibly fucked up and they go out there on their shield and then we see a fighter die, then we want to act like we care about him. We get to crying and shit. Tell them, oh man, they should have stopped the fight. He should have, his corner should have saved him. So which one is it? Do you want to see a motherfucker die in the ring and act like you care about it? Or do you want to see a man save his own life and make a decision? You ain't in there taking them motherfucking licks. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he had a broke jaw and was like, okay, or a broke hand and okay, he could have toughed it out, right? He had a broke hand, he could have toughed it out. He had a hurt shoulder, he could have toughed it out. That man didn't even know where the fuck he was. He went to the corner once again and he asked his corner in Spanish, he says, what happened? Did I get knocked out? What happened? I don't know where I'm at. He didn't even know where he was at. He was concussed. Y'all ain't never had it. I've had a concussion like that before. Y'all ain't never had no concussion. So he's supposed to go out there concussed and let Tank Davis hit him one more time in his fucking temple again. And then have to get motherfucking carried out the ring on the stretcher. So I don't want to hear that shit about he quit and all that shit. No, he was hurt. That man didn't know where he was. If you look at when the bell rang, he started walking to Gervonta Davis's corner. They had to turn him around and walk him to his own corner. So that man didn't quit. What he did is he made the correct decision to save his own life. You going out there, right? And he said he couldn't see, right? He said he lost his eyesight. He said he didn't know where he was. He didn't even know what happened to him. He got hit on the temple. If you go back and look, Tank hit him on the overhand with a temple and then cracked him with a hard-ass shot before that. Then cracked him again, right? So, with all of that being said, if you go back, right, and look, he didn't know where he was. You can see he ain't know where the fuck he was by when he was walking to the corner. Big Dog Willie says, Khan, KO's Booth, Spence, and Charlo, incredible facts. And salute to Big Dog Willie. So I disagree with Ultimate Fight Club. Let me read your full comment. He says, I know Tank was going to knock him out, but I knew Hector was going to give him looks to have Tank to make adjustments. That lead hand encounter kept Tank on his toes. Facts. Right. And I agree 100% with that. Right. Hector Garcia can fight. But for everybody just saying, go running around, like I said, for those who running around saying that, oh, he just felt Tank's power and he was scared to go back out there, he quit. He was feeling Tank power the whole motherfucking fight. Tank was catching him with big shots the whole fight. And I was like, damn, this big head motherfucker he got a chin. I was saying that shit the whole time, like, man, this big head, because Hector Garcia, that motherfucker, he got a big ass goddamn dome head. He got a big ass head on him. And I said, this big head motherfucker can take some punishment. Right? Because usually the shots that you see him getting hit with, dudes don't walk through that shit. Tank would have been knocked him out, but he kept coming. But that temple shot, it did it. It did it. He didn't know where he was. J.A. Dixon says they act like they ain't see that man do the wave after a punch. He ain't know where he was. Bro, he was fucked up. And like I said, unless you've been in that man position, you can't sit and talk about, oh man, he quit. He a bitch. And let Tank hit you in your motherfucking temple. Lori Reed says facts. If he'd have went back in there, he definitely would have been on a stretcher. Yeah. Just for your enjoyment, go back out there. I don't know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no legs under me. I'm probably seeing 3 motherfucking Gervonta Davises. He asked if he had got knocked out. He didn't even know the fight was still going on. But I'm going to get up off my motherfucking stool. I can't even stand up. And I'm going to go out there and let this man hit me again. All right. Some shit is tough, and then you got ignorance. It would have been ignorant for him to do that. Yeah, Pritchard Cologne. Roxanne says Pritchard Cologne. But the same fans that's talking about, oh, he a bitch and he quit and all of that, they act like they care about Pritchard Cologne, right? They act like they really give a fuck about that man. Adonis Stevenson. We seen Superman Stevenson. Same shit happened to him, right? They act like they was really so worried about Superman Stevenson when he was in the coma all of that time and, you know, damn near brain dead. But they was acting like they cared about it. You see, I'm not feeling that shit. I've seen fighters quit on the stool when you know, okay, this man just quit. That motherfucker, we seen Rigo quit against goddamn Vasil Lomachenko. We seen Nicholas Walters quit. We seen, and I hate to single them out, but those are just, you know, two of the fighters that came. We seen Roberto Duran quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. We've seen tons of fighters quit, and we know, okay, they just quit. You know what I'm saying? They was either frustrated or they was just, my camera messing. They was either frustrated or they was just getting beat to where they was like, okay, yeah, they quit. That wasn't the case. That dude was up out of there. Wasn't no quitting. He made a motherfucking life decision. Bomac extra barbecue sauce. Hey, dude say, do I think Tank needs a new trainer? I feel like Tank thinks for himself in the ring. I don't see Calvin giving him advice. I don't know. I can't, you know, I wasn't really hearing what Calvin was telling him, so I can't really put that on Calvin. And I don't think that Tank should ever get rid of Calvin because Calvin raised that dude. You know what I'm saying? So should he bring somebody else in his camp? I don't know. He got this far. Tank is who he is. He's the fighter he is. I don't think that a new trainer could come in and change Gervonta Davis. I'm not, you know. Big ups to Calvin Ford, man. Calvin is a good man. He do a lot of shit in the community for the youth. And I think that he got Tank this far. Tank ain't do it on his own. Yeah, Jose Sanchez says Hector got a chin for real, for real. It was the one that he didn't see that hurt him bad, right? And it was right on the temple. He couldn't take it, you know. In my opinion, said you said it, man. It was concussed and lost vision in the right side and mentally lost where he was. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just happens, man. It happens. This is the boxing game. He showed up. He fought great. You know what I'm saying? He put on a great fight. But Tank, that he was just in there with somebody that was better. And Gervonta Davis showed that he's real. Once again, he showed that he's for real. And to me, my opinion, this time he did it against an opponent that's on that top level. Right? He did it against an opponent that's on that top level. And I'm going to keep it real. I saw Devin Haney, you know, that shit that Devin Haney did. I think it was some hating ass shit. And I fuck with Devin. But for Devin to get on Twitter and to be saying all that shit that he was saying on Twitter, trying to downplay, you know, Gervonta Davis's win, and basically, you know, he should have just shut the fuck up. If you gonna get on there, get it. You didn't see Shakur Stevenson do that shit. Shakur give Tank his props, even though they don't fuck with each other. Shakur will give Gervonta Davis his props. So my thing is, like, ain't no reason to get on Twitter and get to running your mouth and shit. You know what I'm saying? Give that man his props if you're going to say anything, or just shut the fuck up and leave it alone. It wasn't nothing for you to go on there and say. Tank did his thing. And he sold out the motherfucking arena. He came out there and he fought a hell of an opponent, and he did it in spectacular fashion. And he also did what he said he was going to do. Because when Devin put out that sparring footage, and it wasn't nothing that was spectacular about the sparring footage. It just showed Devin, you know what I'm saying, outboxing, not even on a major level. He was outboxing, he was showing that he was faster than Hector Garcia, right? Wasn't nothing spectacular. But Tank did what he said he was going to do because Tank told him. He said, okay, keep that sparring up and then double back after my fight with him and see, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to him. And he did that. And real talk, Devin Haney ain't walking through Hector Garcia like that. That's a tough-ass fight for Devin, and I fuck with Devin. But it's different styles make different fights. Now, Devin might fuck around and beat him 10 rounds to 2. I don't know. Or Devin might have a dog fight with dude. But see, Tank got that, he got that equalizer. Now, do I think Tank can, does that mean that Tank can walk through Devin? Nah, don't mean that. I think that all of them guys are on the level to where they all give each other tough-ass fights. We just know that Tank got that one thing, he got that equalizer for all of them. But can he hit Devin with some shit that he don't see? That's why they got to fight. Can he hit Shakur Stevenson with some shit that he don't see? Well, y'all know my stance on that. I think that Shakur is the one that beat him out of the bunch. I picked Shakur to beat him because I think that Shakur outboxes Tank, and he don't catch Shakur with no shit like that Shakur don't see. Shakur is too, his ring IQ is too on a different level. His footwork on a different level. His boxing skills overall. And yeah, Tank can box. Tank got a high ring IQ, right? He got all of that. He got crack. He got all of that. But you just not catching Shakur with those type of shots that you don't see. So it's gonna come down to that, and it's gonna come down to skills and who got the better boxing skills and all of that. And I just say that Shakur, he got him on that. Devin Haney, I do pick Tank Davis. Like I've been saying, I do pick Tank over Devin because Devin don't have enough pop to keep Tank up off of him. Shakur got more pop. Like people say that Shakur can't crack. Shakur can crack. You don't see nobody trying to walk through Shakur. You don't see nobody just coming straight forward. You know what I'm saying? Now, Devin, if Devin be on his heels against, and Shakur, another thing, Shakur will sit down with you and bang on the inside and roll your shit off and still make you miss. Shakur be right there with you and still make you miss. Devin, a different type of fighter. He need that outside range. He need to be on the outside. But like I said, they all great fights. Fuck what my opinion is. They still all need to fight. You feel me? They still all need to fight each other. But I do pick Tank over Devin because I think when Tank do figure Devin out and he decides to walk down Devin, that's exactly what he gonna do. He gonna walk him down, he gonna trap him, and eventually he gonna stop him. Now, if he can't stop Devin, Devin is gonna beat him on the scorecards by decision. But these are all great fights. Now, I didn't like what Devin was doing. I just didn't like what Devin was doing on Twitter and shit. You know what I'm saying? Give that man his props. Give him his just due, or don't say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to say nothing about it if you don't want to give him his props. But let's talk about Ryan Garcia, right? Let's talk about Ryan Garcia before we wrap it up, because that's the fight that's next, right? As far as we know, Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis is next. Gervonta Davis took a lot of he took a lot of clean shots from Hector Garcia. Thing is, Hector Garcia can't crack like that. He can punch. I mean, he got respectable power, but he ain't cracking like Ryan Garcia. So when you talk about Ryan Garcia, one thing, and I'm gonna continue to say this, I think that Ryan Garcia, I think he made a mistake not getting a tune-up fight in. I think that Ryan Garcia definitely should have got a tune-up in. Went through a training camp, got a tune-up, worked on more shit with his new trainer that he only had 2 fights with, and, worked on it in a real live fight with 8-ounce gloves on. So I think that's one mistake that Ryan Garcia is making. But let's say if Ryan Garcia come in the ring, he ain't rusty, he fresh, he's strong, making 136 don't bother him. And I think that's another advantage that Gervonta Davis has on his side. Ryan Garcia ain't fought at 136 pounds, right? They fighting at a catch weight, 1 pound. But yeah, Ryan Garcia ain't fought at 135, 136 in years now, since he fought Luke Campbell. But 2 years? He ain't fought at that weight in 2 years now, right? Think that's another advantage that Gervonta Davis got. Ryan Garcia, he might struggle making the weight. So, but besides all of that, let's throw that out the window. Let's say that Ryan Garcia don't have a problem making the weight. Let's say that Ryan Garcia come in and he had his best. That's a dangerous fight for Tank. Now, am I picking Ryan Garcia to beat Tank? No, but that's a dangerous fight because I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. Gervonta Davis is a southpaw. Ryan Garcia's best punch is a left hook. A left hook is a southpaw's kryptonite. A left hook is a southpaw's kryptonite. If you know anything about boxing. Also, Ryan Garcia is much longer. He's taller than Tank. Much longer and taller than Tank. Right? Tank got to be able to get inside on Ryan Garcia. Now, a lot of people say shit because they watch shit and they don't really know shit about boxing. You say, well, Ryan Garcia is slow on his feet. No, Ryan Garcia ain't slow on his feet. Ryan Garcia don't have good lateral. He don't have good movement. But if you look at Ryan Garcia, he's quick. He know how to jump. He know how to jump back quick. Go look at Ryan Garcia. He's quick. He's not only quick with his hand speed, he's quick on his feet. Now, he is flat-footed. When he sit down and he's, boxing you and punching, he's flat-footed. But when he want to get out the way of shit, he's quick. He know how to hop back quick, and he know how to hop back in range, right, to catch you with his shots. So he's not real slow. He's actually really quick with his hands, his body movement. He's quick. And so Gervonta Davis, the punches that we see him getting hit with versus Hector Garcia, he can't get hit with that same shit versus Ryan Garcia. Because if he get hit with those same punches versus Ryan Garcia, he's probably going to be sleeping. Is what it is. Yeah, Dundada, people don't see that. Ryan Garcia takes quick steps back. He's quick on his feet when he steps back. He don't have the best footwork, but he's quick with it, right? So, like I said, it's a dangerous fight for Gervonta Davis, and it's a dangerous fight for Ryan Garcia. This is a dangerous fight on both fighters' part. Now, I'm probably going to edge Gervonta Davis 60-40, right? I'm going to give Gervonta Davis the 60-40 edge because of a lot of different factors. But this is a dangerous fight for Tank. You let Ryan Garcia crack you like Hector Garcia was catching him. You might not, right? You might not have that same outcome. He got to be very, very cautious with Ryan Garcia. So how we see Gervonta Davis start off slow, you can expect him to do that with Ryan Garcia even more so. Because Ryan Garcia can crack. And he's very, very fast. And the punches that hurt you is the one that you don't see. Now, on the other end, when Gervonta Davis starts pressing the action and you see him put Ryan Garcia on his back foot, is Ryan Garcia's defense good enough, right, to stop Gervonta Davis from hitting him with the big shots that he don't see? That's the problem. When Ryan Garcia get put on his back foot, can he fight on his back foot against a Tank? That's going to be a problem. Is he working on doing that? You know what I'm saying? When Tank Davis, come with them overhands and them uppercuts, is Ryan Garcia going to be able to, to parry those punches off and block those shots, but keep his chin tucked? Because Tank Davis is going to turn up on Ryan Garcia. And is Ryan Garcia going to be able to keep his chin tucked and display that he has, defense that's up to par? He's going to have to work on his defense. He's going to have to be able to stay in the pocket and roll with some of Tank's shots and counter Tank. So it's a lot. But like I said, it's a dangerous fight on both ends. Knockout, what's happening with it? Knockout always coming this bitch at the last minute. Salute, Knockout. But yeah, it's a dangerous fight. So y'all can keep acting like that. Ryan Garcia is full of talk, and Ryan Garcia can't fight, and this is not a dangerous fight for Gervonta Davis. Keep thinking that shit, and I guarantee you're going to see different. Unless Tank come out there and knock him out early, you're going to see different. This is a dangerous fight. But like I said, I still got Gervonta Davis. Because, like I said, Gervonta, he made the right decision getting a fight in between. When Ryan Garcia didn't get no fight. The 136-pound weight is definitely favoring Gervonta Davis. And just overall boxing, ring IQ and experience. All of that shit go to Tank. Now, on Ryan Garcia's part, he got the faster hands. He's bigger. He should be stronger. He got a longer reach. And so, they both got their, attributes that, they both got their attributes that's going to favor them in the fight. But like I said, when it come down to it, I still got Tank 60-40. Ryan Garcia ain't never been in the ring with nobody near the level of Tank. And Tank, like I said, he just got out the ring with Hector Garcia. And I'm high on Hector Garcia. I think he a hell of a fighter. Ryan Garcia ain't never fought a Hector Garcia before. How do you get experience to go in there against somebody like Gervonta Davis when you ain't even took a motherfucking tune-up? When you only got 2 fights with the trainer that you've been with? And we all know that Ryan Garcia is not the most disciplined fighter. So is Ryan Garcia, right? Is he in the ring? I mean, has he been, while Gervonta Davis was in training camp, right, getting in tip-top condition, what was Ryan Garcia doing? Was Ryan Garcia in training camp or training every day faithfully like he was in the training camp? I doubt it. You feel what I'm saying? So when you look at the fight, right, just everything surrounding the fight, you got to get an edge to Tank. But that's why they got to get in the ring, because it's still a dangerous motherfucking fight. And people can talk all that shit. Man, Ryan Garcia ain't got no chin. I say you full of shit. Ryan Garcia got a chin. He got caught dead on his fucking chin against Luke Campbell that can crack. Luke Campbell got a very high KO percentage, right? Luke Campbell can crack. Caught Ryan Garcia with his chin straight up in the air, dead on the chin. Ryan Garcia going backwards, and he failed. But he got right back up. See, that's what I want to see. Anybody can get hit with some shit that they don't see, suffer a flash knockdown, but are you visibly hurt? Ryan Garcia wasn't hurt. He took the punch, got right back up, and went straight towards Luke Campbell. So that doesn't show me he don't have a chin. Other than that, I never seen him hurt before. I never seen Ryan Garcia hurt for me to say that he don't have no chin. Anybody could get knocked down, right? A flash knockdown, especially if your fundamentals ain't on par. Everybody know you never pull back with your chin straight up in the air, because it leaves you straight open for that sweet spot. So you can't say that because he got dropped one time and got right back up, he don't have a chin. Now, if he had got dropped by Luke Campbell and was down on the ground, you know what I'm saying, reaches for his mouthpiece, got up on wobbly legs and was fucked up, then you can say, okay, we know that Ryan Garcia don't have no chin. His chin suspect because he got hit with a hard shot and he couldn't recover. He couldn't recover. He got dropped and he couldn't recover. That's when you know somebody, okay, we got to watch out for his chin. But he showed me that if he do get hit, he do go down, he has the ability to recover right away. But Tank Davis get hit by Tank on that same spot is a whole different story. So my thing is not when they fight, I'm not going into the fight worried about Ryan Garcia chin or if he got a chin, because if you get hit by Gervonta Davis on your motherfucking shit, I don't give a fuck who you is. You ain't finna take it anyway. And if you do take it, you ain't gonna take too many of them. So talking about Ryan Garcia's chin shouldn't even be a question in this fight. His whole thing is to stay out of the way of that shit so your chin don't get touched. That's just like saying, okay, if Shakur Stevenson get hit with his motherfucking chin straight up in the air against fucking Tank Davis, how many of them is he gonna take? We ain't worried about his fucking chin. If Devin Haney get hit dead on the chin from Tank Davis with his chin straight up in the air, how many of them is he gonna take? So Ryan Garcia, right? I'm not worried about his chin no more than the next motherfucker that's fighting, Tank Davis. That shit don't matter. It's about your defense. And can you know what I'm saying? Can you keep Gervonta at bay? Can you get off on him and hit him with some shit, right? Can you hurt him? And can you keep him from hitting you with them big ass shots? And if he do hit you with a big ass shot, well, if you could take it, because we seen him hit Hector Garcia with a lot of big ass shots, but after a while, we seen what happened. So I'm not worried about his chin. You know what I'm saying? His chin is not a question. His chin don't come into question because if Tank catch you, you know, you pretty much a done deal anyway if he hits you like that on your chin. But it's a dangerous fight for both of them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, KQ. He sold that mug out. I was saying that earlier. You know what I'm saying? He showed out and he sold out and he showed out. And we gotta stop from now on. You ain't gonna hear me say shit bad about Tank. Because like I said, Hector Garcia was a motherfucking hell of a fighter. So, and he going in against another dangerous fighter. I don't give a fuck what people think about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, ain't nobody beat him yet. Ain't nobody been able to, you know what I'm saying? It's only what? One or two fighters that's been able to go the full distance with him. He knocking everybody out. So yeah, he a dangerous fighter. Luke Campbell ain't no motherfucking pushover. When you seen anybody run through Luke Campbell? Luke Campbell went 12 with Vasil Lomachenko. Luke Campbell he barely lost a split decision to motherfucking Jorge Linares when Jorge Linares was in his prime. But Ryan Garcia got his ass up out of there. Fortuna, everybody was talking about how tough Fortuna is. Fortuna just had a motherfucking dog fight before he fought Ryan Garcia with Jojo Diaz. They had a dog fight. Ryan Garcia walked through him like wet tissue paper. So I'm not trying to hear that shit. Real talk. Until somebody walked through Ryan Garcia and proved that he ain't shit, I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. I'm ready for the fight to happen, and hopefully they get it done, because we know that the contracts are not signed yet, right? They not signed. The fight ain't done yet, but hopefully they don't come to no bump in the road. And now we hear, oh well, the fight was done, but PBC and DAZN, they having some discrepancies. I don't want to hear that shit, because if we hear that shit, we know that the fight ain't gonna happen. So hopefully they go ahead and sign the contract, right? They sign the contract. They get the fight done, and we get this fight in April. But as far as I know, I think, let me go to my calendar real quick. I believe that coked out as Oscar De La Hoya. He said the fight was going to be on April the 17th. Right? He said the fight was going to be on April the 17th. I'm looking at my calendar, and April the 17th is on a Monday. Nick J says, something in my spirit tells me there will be several bumps in the road, and that fight ain't happening. I wouldn't be surprised. But check it. We already got a bump in the road. Because Cokehead as Cokehead, you know what I'm talking about? Cokehead, Oscar De La Hoya, Fishnets, he say the fight is happening on April the 17th. April the 17th is a Monday. Well, I'm just saying what Oscar said. You know what I'm saying? Oscar said the 17th. And I said, oh, shit. He damn near had me make a video talking about the 17th, and I checked the date, and I said, that's a goddamn Monday. So maybe the 15th. Hopefully it's the 15th. You know what I'm saying? Fishnets. Hopefully, you know, he was just high on coke, and he meant to say the 15th. Aisha say, why are people saying Spence is fighting April 15th? I don't know why people saying that shit, man. Spence ain't said nothing about when he fighting. He did put April. But, man, people gonna tell you that shit. If you ask some of these dudes, and y'all know who they are, they got the motherfucking fight date for every fight that come out, but every time they be wrong. I'm just saying. They always got the motherfucking fight date before anybody do, before the network do, before the fighter themselves got the fight date, but then they always wrong. And then pretend like they ain't said it. I'm just saying. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not finna speculate when Errol Spence is fighting because I don't know. Errol Spence like to fuck with people. Hey, Errol Spence, he'll put some shit like he like to fuck with people. EJ, he'll put some shit like April. And he be talking about his motherfucking daughter's birthday or his girlfriend's birthday or some shit. And he'll sit back and laugh because he know everybody gonna run and make a video and say, Errol Spence announces that he coming back in April. Breaking news. Errol Spence says that he coming back in April. And then they'll come up with a date in April. When all he just put is a laughing emoji in April. That's why I know EJ be fucking with people like that, man. He be laughing at that shit all the time. EJ do shit because he know people gonna run with it, right? And make 1,000 videos when this man ain't said nothing about nothing. All I know is from what he said out of his mouth, what I heard him say, he said, hey, I'll be back, you know, April, May, maybe June. That's all we know. So other than that, I don't know when he coming back until he really say when he coming in. And another thing y'all gotta understand, right? These fighters don't be knowing anyway. Like these fighters, they get dates and then the network will push the date back and give them a different date and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You heard Stanionis. Stanionis said he had like 4 or 5 different dates. Stanionis said when he gave his announcement talking about that he, you know, fucked up because he not going to be able to fight now, right? He said he had 4 or 5 different dates. Man, these fighters, man, these networks, when it's big name fighters like Errol Spence and Keith Thurman and all these big name fighters, man, it's no telling when they fight. These networks are telling that they gonna fight in April, and then we know how boxing is. They end up not fighting until June or July. Just what it is. I be sick of that shit too. Stop announcing fights if you know you ain't gonna have that shit into 2 months down the line. And I'm talking about the the promoters and the networks. Or a lot of times, to keep it 100, don't even be the promoters and the networks. It be motherfuckers on YouTube that acting like they the promoter and they the network. They acting like they got more information than the promoter and the network do. So they the ones that be coming out with all these motherfucking lame ass, false ass dates. So that's just what that be. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all. Hell of a show. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. I'm not finna hold y'all no longer. I appreciate everybody that came in. If y'all ain't hit the like button, make sure that y'all smash the like button. Make sure that y'all go to Money Brown TV tonight. He gonna be cooking. Figure he gonna be cooking. I'm gonna be watching this national championship game. You know, and the Dallas Cowboys. Let me say something about my Dallas Cowboys before I get off this bitch. Dak is who I've been saying Dak Prescott is trash. Jerry Jones, like I said, when Jerry Jones gave Dak Prescott all of that bread, paying him over $40 million a year, I was pissed off, and I said he gonna fuck it off, and that's exactly what he doing, because Dak Prescott is trash. The man is trash. The Cowboys ain't winning the motherfucking thing, and that's my team, so I can talk about it. They ain't winning the motherfucking thing. We finna go to goddamn to Tampa Bay next week, and Dak is gonna show you exactly what he is. Garbage. We gonna lose. And then next year they gonna come and it's gonna be the same shit all over again, just like it was with Tony Romo. Oh, well, we gonna give Dak a chance, man. Well, they always got a motherfucking excuse for Dak Prescott. For real. You could dig up the goddamn Pro Bowl team from 1993, and they gonna have an excuse for why Dak Prescott couldn't get it done. Why Dak Prescott is leading the motherfucking league in interceptions and pick sixes, and he missed 5 games. How the fuck you leading the league in interceptions and pick sixes, and you missed 5 games? But that's just my rant. That's just my rant. I'm gonna get my ass up off here. I appreciate y'all for coming through, showing love. I will be back tomorrow. Look for the notifications because they be sending my shit out late. I will be back tomorrow. I appreciate y'all, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that Boston again, and I'm gone.